7 sniper rifle on the map, a couple of Hail Mary grenades, and I promise E United might find the win.
Yeah, great flank by this player bottom center, though. It's not enough pressure as Ryan was going to secure overshield. You have Snipe Down, who had the heat wave temporarily, but it's interesting as we talk about, switching positions and everybody being able to do it all. This is Ryan coming through, and we talked about as an objective play, but he's got both of the power-ups and power weapons on the map right now. Needs to try to stay alive as long as possible with the sniper rifle, or at least bring it towards his teammates, and that's what the thought process is. Try to stay alive as long as he can, avoiding the grenades over towards the green side. Even the willingness to switch to his BR instead of going for the greedy no-scope, and the nade to add extra damage on these players over towards the back. But Oinksters coming through with some good plays. Rain is the last guy alive, picking up a double. That's not what you're looking for the Oinksters.
One of the things that make Ryan Noob and Suspector so tough to deal with is their willingness to play their life. They refuse to go down. They're always valuing it. Oinkster's pretty good at themselves, but it's United to find the kills they're looking for. Triple kill out of Snipe Down. Almost able to get the overkill as that nade does enough damage to give a slight advantage to Rain, but of course it's Mines with that steady BR able to find the kill. Once again, E United find himself 3 down, and Oinkster's finding some progression on this hill 1.
Mines should not have won that, and look at him being a nuisance over towards the backhand side. Rain gets a pretty fortunate spawn over towards the dummies and gets his push going forward, but now look at the damage being output from Oinksters, and those are those type of BR battles, Tony, that you need to win early on to give yourself that confidence that you not only have the individual skill to hang with these guys, but the teamwork as well, because they've already picked up a majority of this time over towards this B hill. Overshield doesn't get fully picked up. As you can see, it's still on the ground, and Rhino with a big kill there onto Carmea. You can see they also have Snipe Down inside of the hill, so a little bit of a role reversal over here, and that's again what E United really needs to showcase is the Repulsor not going to be able to knock Snipe Down off the map, and the good spawns over towards A side get capitalized on by the Oinksters. This hill is coming down to the wire.
E United able to break that B-side setup and get overshot at the same time, despite Oinksters having the advantage, and now they're just moments away from stealing away this hill number 1. Oinksters have one final push, but Carmea has 1 bullet, plants it in the head of Suspector. Rain somehow able to stay alive over toward that hillside. Oinksters might have to punt away this hill. Well, here comes the nades.
Nice job avoiding that first nade from Rhino, but the second one very well placed from Mines, and that nade is huge because that would have kept Rhino alive, and they wouldn't have been able to get that hill right there, but they are able to. And first hill going on over towards E United. Very well fought though from the Oinksters. You got to give them credit the way that they kind of approached that situation. The jump over towards top center, not easy to hit for Carmea as he continues to slide around and use the movement. But with the sniper rifle, you need to hit your shots. That's exactly what he does. Finds one under Ryan. Looking for the double. That's twice he's gotten behind players that he shouldn't have, and Carmea impressing individually.
My man phased through him like Danny Phantom. I almost want to count that as a ninja. He literally just slid it right through him, finds the backsmack, and still connecting shots with the sniper rifle. Carmea, the self-proclaimed S7 King. And you're seeing why the man's hitting no scopes left and right as half the members of E United go down. The same for Oinkster. Snipe down to 1 shot he goes, and he's gonna go for a bit of a swim. If he can't find the kill, and you ain't gonna get it on him, you're gonna jump into that water.
Yeah, Snipe Down thought he had his floaties on right there, but I love the play, going and trying to trade kills no matter what, because he knew that he was absolutely done for. Nade most likely was gonna take him out very shortly. Green gun in the hands of Aperture, looking for some slays over towards the top center area and looking for the overshield guy. If he can land this one, that's going to be huge, but it ends up just going directly into the ground. Now the push is coming through to try to lay some damage down, and he is going to be able to do so, but 3 members from the Oinksters are going to go down. So while we've seen some great highlights from Carmea, from Mines with the out BR under Rain, it's the teamwork from E United that's been in place as they continue to rack up time over towards the seaside.
But Oinksters doing a great job of coming right off the spawn and pushing E United out of that hill. Now can they follow it up? The stick comes in. 3 down for both the members. A momentary 1v1, but Mines has the heat wave. He's going to win that one. And it looks like both of these teams are having a chance to stabilize, but it's Oinksters that should get those favorable spawns.
Yeah, good job from Mines, locking down and anchoring. Not going for the hill quite yet, understanding the situation that's very easily nadeable, but if he can continue to just lock down the backside of C, he's going to be in a good position. Also, the heat wave on a Suspector is big. trying to use the sound cues, waiting for players to kind of push up. You know that he's most likely on the death screen too. So a little bit of a pickle here as two players from E United are coming in from both sides, and Mines really couldn't be playing this any better. He's just staying alive, buying time for his teammates, and this is when you need to capitalize it for the Oinksters.
We've now seen twice in a row where Oinksters end up going 3 down, and Mines has to make a play to delay E United from getting free time, and he does it. And now Carmea comes off a spawn and gets himself a double kill. This is all on the backs of Mines being such a nuisance and just playing his life over toward the tower side, despite his team being 3 down. E United now forced to come off a spawn, and they barely passed that 25% portion of progression on this second hill. Fantastic job by Oinksters, but specifically the man on screen, Mines.
Suspector with a huge flank bottom center there. I don't know if you saw that, but he picks up a double kill. That's going to be 3 getting answered. Now a huge one-on-one. Rain's going to win that one, but all of that was made possible by the bottom center flank coming in from maybe Rhino, maybe it was Suspector, but whoever made their way down there, that was big time. But I love the way Oinksters played that. They just didn't check bottom center throughout all of that, because one of the things you know, Tony, in Halo Infinite, you can't sit back and wait for the teams to own real estate. Once you get those kills, you need to spread out and start adding pressure immediately.
And United trying to apply pressure onto the tower side. Rain up high. The melee is going to connect on the first one, ends up trading out his life, but of course Ryan emerges with that sniper rifle, seems out of nowhere, nades coming in left and right. The man is in the trenches doing everything he can to stay alive. He can't gain his shield back. Oinksters are keeping Ryan one shot the entire time, and finally ends up going down. Snipe down gonna join him as well. Suspector ripping a double kill, can't quite find the triple kill, and once again numbers going in favor of Oinksters, and with numbers come hill time.
Looks like this could come down to the final hill. Oinksters have played the seaside extremely well. Heatwave's been a big power weapon controller here for the team in red, and they continue to just filter in one by one and hit the big bait and switches, but now they lose out over towards the nest side. One player's going to be pushing over towards back mud area. The presence of mind to toss the nade, huge from Carmea, trying to find the extra nades over towards the bottom, but not able to do so. 45 seconds left on the clock, Tony. What do you think is going to happen here? I mean, E United, are they going to let this hill go away and go for the third hill?
They might have to do that here, but Oinksters only moments away from stealing it, but it looks like E United once again find themselves within the hill. Piggy wants to take one last push. The stick gonna come in. Beautifully played. Piggy playing his life while one shot. Meanwhile, Oinksters coming off his spawn, able to cover his back. Slides right in. This was an absolute battle for this seaside hill. Like you said, 39 seconds left in regulation. This game literally might just end 2-1.
Yeah, it's going to be 2-1 for sure. Great plays from Carmea. The reversal there onto Snipe down. 2 players going to be down for E United. And we'll see if Oinksters has what it takes over towards the A side like they did in C. I mean, masterful job from Piggy, staying alive, getting side back over towards that hill. You never know what's going to happen with that amount of time left. And in this type of game type, it's completely possible, just like in Strongholds. So I love the play from Piggy. He continues to work that objective over here, and slight advantage going over towards Oinksters for this third and final potential hill.
People in the chat were calling this a 3-0 easily in favor of E United, but this is a lot closer than we expected. Oinksters going toe-to-toe with the juggernauts and really thriving. You're seeing half that progression of this hill already being taken by Oinksters with 24 seconds left on the clock. I can only imagine if they steal this hill away, they'll simply be playing the shot clock. They'll try to force E United out of the hill and not even try to go up another one here. E United are on the ropes. They may not be knocked down just yet, but they better be careful. Oinksters are starting to press forward.
And great nades there just to buy time. They know that they need a little extra wiggle room, and still 22 seconds like you said, Tony. Anything is possible here for E United. They need to tighten up. One of the points that I want to bring up is Suspector gets a kill over towards bottom center. Is Rhino did a great job. Carmea again with the heat wave did a great job of staying alive. Even though they didn't capitalize there, he did the math in his head and realized, I can't, as the last person alive, go and push this, and Carmea couldn't get any sneakier right now.
And that's gonna be it. 8 seconds off for respawn, 12 seconds on the clock. Snipedown was the only player that was momentarily in position to get his feet in the hill. The back smack ends up ending it, and Oinksters pulling off the upset, taking game number 1.
All right, I had to do it, man. The Oinksters coming through, and like you said, not the 3-0 sweep that everyone in the chat thought it would be. Keep in mind, E United was kind of sitting around watching that series, and they're like, yeah, we got this. Who knows what the warm-ups were going to be. But now the series has started, right? You got E United most likely fired up, talking about what they need to do better, realizing, hey, we're going up against a team that just came off a 3-0 themselves. The games are really close. They got momentum. People think about warming up their shots, but warming up your call-outs, right? That's really, really big. So if you're not hitting your, like, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, tis before you go through and you're, doing some extra vocal warm-ups, you're not going to be ready to go. And I feel like it was a little bit of a lackluster opening there from E United. Looking forward to watching them bounce back.
Game number 2 going to be on Catalyst Slayer to be exact. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure how good of a Catalyst team E United really is. It's really kind of a curveball in almost any series that we see them, and we know that they had the advantage going into that King of the Hill live fire. In fact, we've seen them style on a team in that very same game type and map combination over at Orlando, winning 1-0. So we know how confident they were going into King of the Hill. Going into Catalyst, this is anybody's game. There's a chance that Oysters could be coming into this game number 3 and be up 2-0 in this series.
Just for storylines, I would love to see that, because that's when E United is going to continue to play even better, and then we get a chance to see what Oysters really is going to be made of. But someone in the chat brought up a good point, is that E United had 4 dead and Fresh West, and they barely picked up hill time. That's a great observation there, because you see Ryan with the weapons, and he's picking up all of these, kills, or just having some sort of control. And then you saw Snipe down over towards the hill. The question is where is the rest of the objective going to come from? Is that going to be something that continues to kind of plague what's going on with the United? Hey, it's only one game for sure, but that's always a big question, is when you have someone that you're so used to getting in the hill and playing that objective role like he does. And we know that roles, technically in 2022 could be thrown out of the window. But you'd be crazy to think, if you don't think of Ryan Newby, you don't think about what he's done in the past with the objective, how good he is at the objective, and what he's able to do when he gets that, even in Halo Infinite, right? And then the same is said with Snipe Down with the weapons, right? The same is said with Rain and Suspector in the way that they play. But who's going to fill that void? Now it's a Slayer, so you don't have to really worry about that. But 3 off of the rip for Oysters. They're looking for the 4th.
We've been talking about it time and time again, how competitive this HCS season is. You're talking about E United fresh off of a top 6 finish, even having trouble against Oysters, who 3/4 of his roster wasn't able to make it out of open, to my knowledge, over towards Orlando. So again, you can make an argument for anyone in this league, especially when you have a mind like Minds on your team. The man ends up getting himself a huge triple, and if he was ready, he could have got himself an overkill. Still a bit of overshield to work with, not for long, as E United getting trapped over towards the base, and Oysters are still pushing up. Aperture with the skewer, Piggy doing it with the BR, Suspector luckily cleaning up with the double kill onto the feed to slow them down just a bit. But what a start out of Oysters.
You love to see it for the Oysters. The confidence is oozing. The assist flying in for Kermea. Minds continuing to have himself one heck of a day. And look at the sneaky play from Aperture, waiting for the sound cues and waiting for the rest of the team. But this is what you like to see from E United too. Resetting, understanding the situation, wait for someone from Oysters to make a mistake. But right now, Oysters is playing extremely disciplined. And this is a similar situation that we talked about with the Rockets on Streets, where you don't want to overextend and you want to play sneaky. I love that play from Aperture, Tony.
Aperture slowing the game down completely, just waiting for E United to cross over, turning this play maybe into a flank. The final players push up toward the lobby, can't quite find the toe with the skewer, with the BR, finds the kills he's looking for. Still 2 more members they'd have to deal with. Aperture with the full shield takes a bit of team damage. That's not going to slow him down. He has to push up. E United starting to get the God spawns, and now Oysters starting to fall. They're starting to crumble here, and right as the overshield is coming up, this is the moment E United were waiting for.
That's what you slowed things down for. Rain's going to grab that one with the grapple. Still has a grapple in the back pocket as well if he wants to go and use that one, and he will. Flying directly towards 3 members. Needs to watch his back, though, because he's completely getting lit up. Surprised that he hasn't even been taken out yet, but he will drop the trade. The double kill from Minds. He continues to impress in this series. 5-2-1. Looking for some more blood.
Able to get his 6th kill when holding onto that height. Early damage, shaking away at the shields and the resources of E United. And now you're seeing a 2-man push from E United onto the left. A 2-man push now pushing up towards the mid. Bait and switch is going to be so important as E United starting to stack numbers. Rain finds a kill onto Piggy. It looks like Carbea able to trade out his life here. Minds eventually goes down. And once again, E United winning another round of engagement to tie things up and now take the lead.
Back and forth we go here. As E United trying to regather and reset right now. When you look at the stats, it's all on Suspector, the man on your screen right now, sitting at 8, 2, and 3. Really putting in some serious work, but Mines, on the other hand, has been the guy for Oinksters. Rain going to come right back, and 3 kills now going on over to E United. That's what you're looking for. The control in their hands now. What are they going to be able to do with it? Spread out immediately, take some angles, get hyper aggressive, and look for an overextension for Oinksters.
And this is what's so frustrating going up against a top HCS team like E United. You feel like you're doing everything right, but E United still able to counter you, still able to find the slaves that they're looking for, still able to take control with snipe down lines that the skewer can't quite connect. Down to 1 shot he goes, but able to stay alive. Denial grenades now going to follow. He's looking to play his life. Can't find the second one either. Probably the first time in my life I've seen snipe down miss 2 shots in a row.
Yeah, it looked like he was a little bit nervous in terms of where the other players were going to come, and that's why you saw the pre-nade. But I like the thought process. Line up the shot, take your time with that one, comes off spawn and picks up a kill. It looked like he was expecting some help over towards the backhand side too once he got that melee. But very rare miss there from when Snipe Down gets in a position where he has someone not looking at him. It's almost a 99 percentile in terms of how he's going to be able to connect over here. But this is the other thing that we mentioned, Tony, is that what happens once the United starts to get rolling, right? What's it look like from their screen compared to the Oinksters screen? And it seems like they have kind of gotten that momentum that they've been looking for, and they're continuing to add pressure.
4-kill lead in favor of E United, but 2 members of EU end up going down. A great recovery out of Oinksters, but sending a grenade back to Suspector. Finds himself 1, finds himself 2 as Oinksters. They were running hot. They were looking good, but E United answered right back, and noticing that sword in the middle map, not going to be picked up. Both these teams respecting gentlemen's agreement. I know how much you love the GA.
Listen, I'm not a big fan of it. If people are wondering if he's capping or not, I want all the weapons. You know, if it was my choice, we'd all have swords in our back pocket. No, that wouldn't be the case. But you know, the players know best. Let them continue to figure it out. But you know, I've always been a big fan of the sword. It just reminds me of the old school Halo 2 days. But it is extremely powerful. 3-kill lead, though. It seems like Oinksters have brought this in a little bit closer, Tony. They're slowing it down, which is a really big key here, kind of giving E United a taste of their own medicine.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around FaZe and E United both being represented by Snipe Down. The whole lone thing is really starting to confuse me here. I almost wanted to say FaZe, but Snipe Down being loaned in for E United. Doing a great job of staying alive. Ryan Noob taking height and coming back down. Able to trade out his life here. Overshield coming up as they're quickly approaching the mid game. E United still gaining a bit of control, and Oinksters still trying to find their footing. Maybe this overshield might be what they're looking for. A 4-man push onto the skewer side of the map as Oinksters looking to overwhelm the mid map in preparation of the OS.
Yeah, what's Snipe Down's contracts look like? He was like playing for what, Triggers Down the day before. Like now he's on E United. He's on FaZe, dude. He's still got the straight ripping stuff that we have from the past. I mean, is he going to be on Optic next week? The dude's on every single team.
You try to track his numbers, but you can't, man. The guy's getting paychecks from everyone. Everybody wanting Snipe Down to represent him. Meanwhile, Rain getting a nasty double kill before going down a killing spree, but eventually going to be ended as we switch on board with Snipe Down, forcing himself onto the sword side of the map a bit by himself here. He might have taken a 1v2 as you do see 2 members of E United make it 3, overwhelming skewer side. A 3-1 split by E United. This can pay. It's a high risk, high reward here. It might be exactly what Oinks are looking for to maybe tie up the game, or it might be what E United can use in order to put some separation between them and the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is huge for Rain to be able to pick this one up. And you can see Snipe Down as the aggressor. And that's the opening of the bait that we're talking about. Just adding a little bit of pressure. That allows a free kill coming in for Rain. And that's 3 dead for the Oinksters. Great job for the 3rd time of this game slowing down. And E United methodically picking apart the Oinksters.
And now E United just 2 squad wipes away from stealing out this win here. Things are getting really bad if you're a fan of Oinksters. Ryan Noob on screen over toward the bottom mid side, just concealing his presence. Oinksters trying to identify where exactly the members of E United are coming from. Ryan Noob ends up being spotted out and down to 1 shot. He goes off a screen. Piggy finds himself a double kill. Ryan Noob gonna try to do it himself. Screw it, he'll do it live. 3 down go E United. Oinksters are not out of it just yet.
That's big. Now is the time that you throw the GA out the window and grab the sword, Tony. You know, that's my game plan. You know, I didn't sign anything. You're lucky I'm under contract, Tony.
T-Square trying to get himself blacklisted. Don't worry, the warden will protect you. Nade starts to fall here. Carmea looking to push up. Having 2 members. Thought it was a 1v1. Ends up being a 1v2. So now the Overshield player might be a bit by himself. Aperture is that OS player finds himself a kill. E United find himself 3 down. We see the final member starting to retreat into the arms of the respawning player. E United trying to flip the map in half, but Aperture not going to allow this to happen. Almost able to connect with that skewer. We're only down by 2 kills as Oinksters. Again, we said it. There's a possibility Oinksters can be up 2-0 in this game going into this game number 3. This is the moment. This is the opportunity you've created.
Really smart play to whoa, what a shot from Aperture across the map there onto Snipe Down. But I was going to say the rotation from E United was genius. They knew that the skewer was on that side of the map, so they immediately push over towards the opposite side, and Ryan Noob getting a big kill there onto Aperture.
2 down go Oinksters. E United once again regaining, and the double kill from Suspector is going to finish it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series tied up at 1 apiece. That swing game number 3 going to be so important. We're going back to OBJ.
Great game there from both teams. Oinksters showing that they could come back. United showing that they can slow down the game, but once they get the pace that they can really start to heat up. And just overall great control. I mean, saw a couple missed shots with the skewer, which is completely going to happen in terms of watching these players move around the map. They don't really go where you're predicting, but a lot of layers of strategy there from Catalyst. You can see that both these teams are very strong on that map.
We talk about E United always having a blueprint. The moment they go 3 or 4 down, normally teams are getting punished for that. E United always seemingly finding an exit point to flip that map in half, or at least headbutt right through. You never seen them go multiple times 3 or 4 down. They were always able to formulate a plan and be able to counter the aggression that Oinksters are known for putting onto the map. But going into Streets, a lot smaller of a map. If they go 2 or 3 down again, they will be punished. I promise Oinksters, they want to get aggressive. They couldn't do it on Catalyst. Streets might be exactly what they're looking for, and of course, it's going to be Strongholds, which really favors the speedier team, if you will. And E United, they're really known for having a slow and methodical gameplay, like you alluded to multiple times in that game number 2.
Yeah, that's a great point, Tony. I mean, you look at the way that the first game type was played. It was very scrappy. There wasn't a lot of time to take your time in terms of being able to, pick and choose where you're going to go, what the plan's going to be. You have to just play subconsciously here. And when you have about a team as long as you would like for E United, that makes things a little bit more difficult, and you could not be on the same page as you were hoping for. But still, everything comes down to controlling these weapons, controlling that Bulldog, controlling the spawns, getting those rockets, making sure that you have the stalker rifle in your back pocket as well. And then just like someone in the chat brought up previously, who is going to go for the objective on E United's side? It has to be everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 5 series. Winner takes all. 500 big ones on the line. It's E United going up against Oinksters. And fresh off of that Orlando's top 6 finish was E United right back in the lab. You got to respect that. Like you said before, no breaks. You're talking, Worlds is around the corner. What time are you working with E United already, making sure they get themselves some valuable reps here? And so far, it's seemingly valuable as Oinksters find themselves 3 down, but tied up in the series.
Bulldog in control for Carmea. We'll see what he's going to be able to do with this one. I love the movement of crouching, thinking that someone was going to come over from that C stairs area and potentially lock him down. But this is what we've seen from the Oinksters a lot. Moving around the map, staying alive when they need to, baiting and switching. And it's been a real pleasure to watch. Again, this is a much more competitive series than we were thinking before this one started out. And I think that they proved it in game number 1, winning that one. They're proving it in game number 2, even though it was fairly close. And here in game number 3, looks like they have a complete control in terms of understanding the situation of where they need to go. Big flank right there from Mines. Does get the melee off even before Snipe Down gets his melee off. Unfortunately for him, Suspector's there to clean it up.
United, one of the best teams, are playing off of that double cap, but they need to get it first. They find themselves into the Bravo side, already have the A side control. Oinkster is not going to allow it to come in so easily, overwhelming the Beast Air side. A double kill out of Carmea. They were just fresh a 2-3 down, but Oinkster is right off the spawn, able to stop E United before finishing. And now Aperture ends up with the Rockets. Oinkster's one of the fastest teams that we have in our league, and you're seeing why.
Yeah, Aperture saying, if I can't get any rockets, nobody can get any rockets, as he's looking for the information. It's selfish and it's kind of smart, right? You know, wasting the rocket, at least one of the rockets, I felt like it was a good play, mainly because he's cutting off the angle of where he's only going to be killed from. So heads up play from Aperture. He gets rewarded with his life, with C, and that extra kill. 2 down for E United.
3-4 of his native black roster, really giving E United a run for their money as they have the lead and already moving in for the triple cap. Piggy finds herself within the zone, steals it away before going down, even takes one down with them. Aperture chucking a nade at the one-shot player, gonna make sure that Ryan goes down, but Oinkster's having the double cap. Now the question becomes, can they get the slays they're looking for? Because you know they want the third as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're going toe-to-toe with one of the best right now. As Snipe Down picks up a kill, gets traded right back. Everyone kind of filtering over towards the tires area, and Piggy's going to say, thank you very much. I'll take that double kill. Immediate push there from Aperture to make his way out over towards A. And I like that movement right there, coming in and immediately taking over that Strongholds as fast as possible, as the arcade area has been left open. One of the things that we noticed from Oinksters is Aperture is the last person alive, is they understand the spawns extremely well. At this level, that's one of the most important things that you need to do. Unfortunately for them, oh, Aperture with a big double kill. Unfortunately for them, they didn't get on top of the Stronghold over towards arcade fast enough, so it seems like they just favored the pink side just a little too much.
Always kind of feel bad for Aperture with these second round of gentlemen's agreements. He's kind of been nerfed. He was one of the best when it comes to drop weapons. So quick with it. You see it with that stalker rifle to BR. He's having to swap instead of drop. It's not coming in as fast as he would want, so it's almost slowing him down a bit. He's waiting for these gentlemen's agreements to be done. Meanwhile, Carmea waiting for the flank to come in. E United find himself 3 down, and once again, Oinksters taking control of the Bravo side of the map.
Even understanding that Rain has the rockets, and if he jumps towards Rain, that should be enough damage onto Rain because he had 2 shots in him to take Rain down as well, even though Aperture gets the kill for that one. But a big flank from Carmea. Very rarely do you come around a team like E United and have 2 to 3 people not even looking at you, especially in that type of instance. Big play from him, big flank. We'll see if they can capitalize.
Oinkster's trying to be as patient as E United right there, daring them to cross that 50% portion, but E United able to break through, able to steal away Bravo, but 3 down go E United. So with that, Oinksters, you have to get into the Bravo side. They're already working on Charlie, and now look at the split spawns coming in. All the way over toward the B Street side. Looks like Oinksters were favoring the AC side. A real tough to hold. I wonder if that's going to pay off for them.
It's been held before, and you know, sometimes the unorthodox holds are what you need against other teams. As you could see a couple kills going in the favor of Piggy. Snipe Down going to be big chilling over towards the A side, checking his C and controlling over towards the arcade area, working with Rain. That's going to be big, but Suspector needs to get over towards that pink side, towards that cafe side, because that seems to be the open spot right now for the Oinksters to push.
We'll all be working with Rain going into World Seattle, known well for it. As Rain trying to stay alive onto the Bravo side, A-B setup coming out of E United. We talked about how good they are with playing off of the double cap, able to find the spawns. Rain finds the one-shot player, can't quite find the kill. Both of them sitting on top of each other, and it looks like Carmea puts his body on the line to trade out his life there. E United once again losing the numbers battle, but still able to out-rotate. They're working on Charlie. They already have Bravo. E United seemingly thriving right now, even against the ultra-aggressive Oinksters.
Snipe Down with a good double kill. All 4 players from the Oinksters are going to be dropped. And it's looking like United's going to gain control of these much-needed weapons, plus the thrust. This is going to be big for Rain. He's by far the biggest and most important player on the map right now. That rocket ends up getting deflected into the pillars. Unfortunate for him that he's not able to capitalize because the spawns came directly in his favor.
Like Halo needs T2, it looks like United need an answer with these rockets. They want to push him for the trip cap, but they need to find value. Rain taking Heidi, beating onto the B-stair side, getting shot in the butt immediately. Piggy able to get themselves a huge kill. Now moving into for the Bravo side, we obviously see E United with the double cap. The question is for how long, because Bravo changes hands. Charlie's halfway done progressing. Can they get the return? No. Rhino goes down.
Yeah, now Rain's the last player alive. Already been called out by the Oinksters, having to stay alive as long as possible. That's why the nades came through. Is able to gather some information, also weakened minds. Maybe the trade can come through, but everyone kind of staggering right now. That's a big death from Suspector and a big pick from the Oinksters. They should be able to maintain control here just for a little bit. And a great job by our observers switching on towards the more important players on the map that are getting the weapons and checking a majority of the spawns. Because you can see 2 kills already went on over towards the Oinkster side, but it's all about locking down that arcade side. I think that this aggression over towards C is a little bit too much for Carmea. Piggy's already been responded over towards the back. They need to focus on this arcade, but right now Carmea is out of position, and it's just a small little mistake like that, Tony, could end up costing them a little bit.
Despite the 34 kills out of Piggy and Aperture, despite the objective efficiency that Oinksters are still so known for, it's still E United that had themselves a lead, and a fairly dominant one, considering all things considered right now. E United doing a great job of weathering the storm for Oinksters, be able to win these gunfights when they matter most. Once again, you see an AC hold coming out of Oinksters, but E United again rotated them, pushing over toward the Alpha side. If they're able to stop the 3-man push for Oinksters, they're going to steal away Alpha and apply even more pressure. E United doing a great job of countering Oinksters at every single turn.
I agree. You would almost think that the Oinksters should have more time based on what you're seeing here, but it's been a very even match so far. And that was the first major mistake I think we saw the Oinksters make. It was Piggy overextending over towards C. Carmea wasn't on board with him pushing all the way over towards that. And because of that, they lost out on maybe about 30 seconds here. And that's the big difference between what's happening right now when you look at that scoreboard as a handful of different strongholds being taken by the Oinksters. They're going to go for the temporary triple cap.
2 plots already in favor of Oinksters. They push in for the trip. It looks like United rotating over toward the Bravo side, stealing away 1, but it takes 2 to tango as Oinksters quickly eating away at the lead that E United were able to accumulate for so long. Suspector needs to stay alive onto the A side, hops out of the hill momentarily to secure that kill, right back into the A. There go, and just plays like that is what's holding the lead for E United. Not done with the double cap. They're already moving in for the triple. E United known for being one of the slower teams that we have in the HCS, but really speeding up their gameplay and matching the energy that Oinksters are bringing.
Yeah, the slays come right back, and every stronghold is being flipped, and that's the key to strongholds, is if you lose one, you got to take another. Consistently moving around the map, very rarely do you see someone kind of anchor, and if that's the case, they're anchoring because they have a power weapon and they're trying to play safe. But when you look at the slays, they're right there for the Oinksters, so they just need to hold these setups as long as possible. Big nades, big shots there from Suspector to be able to drop Aperture, and now we're talking about Piggy with that anchor situation. Unfortunately for him, doesn't really have a weapon to work with. He's just got his battle rifle out, doesn't matter. Finds the kill clean, the clean kill, excuse me, onto Suspector, tosses down the wall, and immediately recognizes the situation that player is extremely weak. Rockets are coming up, and they're working back and forth with Aperture. Big bait and switch there coming in for Piggy.
Piggy able to steal away those rockets now. Dodging nades left and right onto the tire side. Down to 1 shot he goes. Mines and Carmea rotating onto the purple side.
Wow,
it looks like he's gonna push up with them. Stalker rifle out, able to get himself an assist. AC setup coming in for Oinksters as they steal the lead. Sniping Suspector with the rocket.
Piggy
Getting the double kill does Piggy. The man is roasting E United as Oinksters take control.
Piggy is going nutty right now. 26, 7, and 16. The play to stay alive, to jump over towards tires, escape from the clamor, run back bottom center, work bottom center with the ATM player, and then 2 amazing rockets. 1 under the B stairs, 1 inside of the C hill, and now the triple cap in effect. Piggy putting Oinksters on his back.
Stalker rifle out. Piggy ends up going down. Beautiful snipe. Out of snipe down with the battle rifle. Comes right in, but Carmea's double kill going to be too much. Carmea emerges victorious. Almost to the 250-point mark. E United got to take 2 plots at one time. They're in Bravo, but can't take another one. It looks like Oinksters are the 3 little piggies that go home, home, home. 250 being reached. 1 win away from pulling off the upset.
Not many mistakes coming in from the Oinksters. When they did make mistakes, United rightfully punishing them. But the plays at the end right there from Piggy, again, great job by the Observer team to pick up what was going on. The fight for the Rockets, the staying alive. So many different routes that he could have took, so many different ways that he could have played that. But without that play, all that domino effect that happened between the triple cap, the double cap that originally ensued where they picked up time, and then the way they were able to close that out, all of that is made possible by everybody on the Oinksters filing suit and making the right decisions, but Piggy was a huge help in the way that he played that.
Oinksters up 2-1 in the series. Let me repeat that, ladies and gentlemen, because you didn't hear me, you didn't mishear me. Oinksters have the lead against the top 6 E United from Orlando going into capture the flag. Bazaar, they have an opportunity to fold and put E United away, but I will say, Bazaar CTF, that does favor E United. We should be going to a game number 5 if everything adds up. You know, A squared plus B squared equals T squared. We should be going to game 5.
We're T cubed, actually, just in case you were wondering. But I agree. I think that CTF Bazaar could end up favoring that slow type of game type, that play style that you were talking about with E United, what they really specialize in. But that's another great point. This is a top 6 team. They're still here to perform in Series E on a weekly basis. But this is why you play the game. This is why they're here. They're looking for these moments. Do you think if it's going to be a 3-0 sweep that they're going to be like, man, that was kind of a waste of time? Maybe they could be feeling that way. But this is why they're here. They're here to get tested. They're here to push. They're here to practice. They're here to grind. And that's what Series E is all about. These are the players that are looking to make improvements, whether, you know, they're the top players that have won national championships like Snipedown, or a team like Oinksters that's looking to, you know, prove themselves. It's a very special thing that we have going on here, and I'm excited to see what happens in the rest of this series, because one thing's for sure, this is going to give Oinksters momentum no matter what in terms of how they feel as players and as a team, and this is going to make United work even harder no matter what.
It's not just a cliche. This is the most competitive we've seen the HS be in a long time, if not forever. You can make good arguments for any team making it to the top 16, top 12, and even the top 6. Oinksters coming out hot, even against E United, starting off with the 4 down already in the base of E United, claiming real estate. Carmea having one more rocket to work with. If they're able to play things right, this could be 1-0 so far in favor of Oinksters, and you know how hard captures are on Bazaar.
When we looked at the first series, this is where they kind of fell a little bit short, though. The communication on when to run the flag, making sure that they need to watch the angles. Big job staying alive there from Mayans, and holy Kobe from across the map. The shockwave to the face, the shock nade to the face, and the flag is going in. Aperture doesn't have his shields, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be able to punch this one in. 1-0 for the Oinksters. This is looking good for them. E United's got to be a little nervous.
Again, 3/4 of this roster is native black. Not having the best tournament so far in Orlando. Carmea coming in with the substitute for this roster, and as of right now, Oinksters are going toe-to-toe with E United. It's been so impressive to watch so far. Can they hold on to this? Can they hold on to this 1-0 lead and steal it away? E United already trying to push up, already trying to claim control and surround this overshield. The collapse is coming in, down to one shot. Mines goes somehow able to find the kill onto Snipedown. Mines able to stay alive. The rest of the Oinksters trying to push up toward that 50% portion of the map right as overshield is coming up. Oinksters finding the kills they're looking for.
I mean, if I'm that 4th on, what do you say, native black? If I'm that 4th, I'm a little bit worried, right? I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? You know, like, who is someone coming for my spot because they're about to be E United? It's like, no, you know, are you rooting for your teammates? I think so, but you got to be thinking, am I getting dropped here? Am I getting dropped if they win this series?
Watch your back everywhere. Ain't nobody safe. In fact, T2, I don't even know why you came back to Halo. What's going on? We might have some problems here, bro. I guess I had to go over to Apex.
I'm back, baby. I never left anywhere. It's just a matter of when they let me out of my cell.
As of right now, E United trying to get let out of the cell. They're being locked down. Oinksters are doing a great job of just containing E United, which is not hard to do. E United so well at locking down every single point of the map, making sure every angle is being watched. They're now being stuck in their base. Luckily, a 3-man push out of E United should free up the BR side. E United now trying to convert the defense into offense. There's one more player that's in their base. Now a second one, because Oinksters are always pushing up.
And Carmea is just popping off right now. You can see him starting to heat up in the way that he's picking up the Bulldog, adding pressure. This is the man to kind of look out for, though. You don't want him all up in your base. Ryanoob now with the rockets pushing through. Double shock nades as well. This is the opportunity United to deploy.
Ryan Noob nerds. Ryan Noob goes boom, though. Not able to get the kill with the rockets. Wingsters training multiple reticles on them, but they're stuck in their flag. If EU United can find the 3 down, we can see another pull coming in favor, this time of EU Suspector, finding the kill onto Carmea, dodging nades left and right. Oysters getting the God Spawn too quickly going down for EU United, and now the reset coming in. Oysters able to alleviate some of that pressure, but only for moments.
The kill on Rhino was so big there, Tony, and that's got to hurt for Rhino because he only peaked for like half a second as he grapples back on up over towards the stairs. That just goes to show you the awareness from the Oinksters. They understood the situation. They cannot let Rhino control that area. Aperture picking up a big overshield. You got to be careful if you're United. Very rarely do you want to run the flag while the enemy team has the overshield. Rhino may want to come back here.
Aperture trying to push up right through the double doors. He goes. Nobody at EU United able to spot the pressure that's coming in. Aperture getting right behind enemy lines, but Ryan getting the pull. 3 down go Oinksters. Aperture does end up going down. That's going to be a huge kill for EU United because now they're able to run this flag freely over towards the mid-map. A bit of a Fumbarooski. And with that, they have to slow down, turn around, secure these slaves. And that's exactly what EU United are doing. The trade comes in, but Suspector ends up going down. Aperture now pushing right up for the return. 2 members of EU United able to overwhelm him a bit. Carmea tries to clean up some of the pieces. Is anybody able to touch the flag?
What is this, Apex? Carmea's flying in here. He could have went for another melee right there, but the job has been done. The return came through. Ryanoob, I love the play, but Tony, I think that fumble may have cost a little bit.
Not the fumble you want to see for EU United. You're already down 0-1. We've seen so much time being eaten on the board as Oysters continuing to control the 50% portion of the map. EU United really on the clock right now, despite it only being 1 cap. We talk about it time and time again. Bazaar is one of the hardest maps, if not the hardest map, to even get 1, let alone 2 captures. But as I say that, Aperture and Mines hit the black screen. EU United now running over Oysters. This is the dominance that we expected to see, but where did that spawn come? Are you kidding me?
Big nades there from Ryanoob. Sometimes you need to get a little bit of lucky with the spawns. Good kill onto the flag guy. Also great nade onto Ryanoob. We'll see if Oinksters can capitalize on that, and they do. Piggy flying around the corner. 3 dead there for E United, and not what you're looking for. Overshield is popping up here. Piggy in great position. Has the grapple in hand, picks that up as well, and still has some extra grapples in the back pocket as Mines controls the rockets.
They have overshield, they have rockets, they have map control, have the lead, have the good looks, the nice hair. Oysters got everything going for them. E United, what is going to be your answer? How are you going to stop this pressure once again coming in from Oysters? Not only they're controlling the 50% portion of the map that we talk about so often, but now you're in their third. Mines already has real estate onto the BR side. Can't find the kill. I said, what's the answer gonna be? It might just be a whiff out of Mines.
Yeah, Mines needed to, he just kind of played lackadaisical right there. No reason not to check your back in that situation, but also why overextend? Why not overextend with those rockets? Get in there, play a little bit more aggressive, and take the angles that you need to. Big triple kill from Ryanoob right when they need an Aperture. Last player alive. Those rockets really coming back to hurt them, but Aperture staying alive over towards the flag stairs is a big deal to get those spawns back in their favor, and they also drop snipe down.
Ryanoob nerds, Ryanoob slays. United, slow and steady wins the race. We talk about it often. Patience isn't just a virtue, it is a weapon. The weapon that United used masterfully. It cuts deeper than any sword as Oyster find himself 3 down. Rain making it rain over towards the mid-map. Can't quite find the corner he was looking for. It looks like Orange was able to momentarily stop them. 2 down for each of the teams, but Suspector relays the flag forward, gets right back to work. Beautiful shots in. Mines gets himself a double kill. Snipe down, throwing some denial grenades in. They can't allow this return to come in. Snipe down, gets himself a touch, but also gets himself a meeting with death. 3 down go E United. Oyster's able to weather the storm. This return should be coming in.
Wow. How did they get the flag right there?
It was grappled?
And it had to have been grappled, but now they're on top of that flag and running it. Snipe down's gonna punch this one in.
It was Snipe.
How did he get a grapple? That's the thing, is no one was really in position unless the Spectre was able to grab. It was Snipe down. He's the one that had the grapple. You could see it in the bottom right of the screen. Big plays from Snipe down. Not quite sure how he had that one.
We're going to call him grapple down from now on, because that should have been a return. Oysters were in position. It was just moments away from coming in, and Snipedown just yells, "Get over here!" Stealing away the flag. And what a play by E United to tie things up. 3 minutes and 28 seconds left in regulation, but Oysters already in the base of E United, making them uncomfortable, making them play off of their back.
Don't do it to him.
Carmea, the master of the flank.
Look at this guy. He's doing everything right there, Tony. Staying alive, juking that player. I don't know how he didn't get sound cues from Carmea moving around right there. Now Aperture trying to stay alive inside of the closet. He's going to get dropped by Piggy. Nice job from Piggy staying alive here with the assault rifle as well. The nade onto Rain. Got to be careful that that nade doesn't bounce back over towards you. He should have been called out, and he does. A little bit slow on the call out there, and Ryanoob ends up getting 4-shot. Man, the Oinksters are really turning up at this point.
2 down go E United. Oinksters once again getting the third. Carmea getting value out of the rocket. Snipedown having to make a play by himself, but there's only so much you can do by yourself. It's Halo Infinite. It takes a full team. Oinksters able to put them 3 down. Able to push this flag forward, but it takes more than 1 round of slays in order to secure a capture, so drops the flag towards the mid-map, gets right back to work. Ryanoob puts him on skates, though. Absolutely losing him. Suspector puts the shotty to 1 body, and the same way that E United went 3 down, they're able to flip the script, able to put Oysters 3, phase Snipedown, or E United Snipedown still trying to figure it out, pulling the flag forward. Oysters find the kill. They're already moving in for the return.
Yeah, great flag touch right there coming through. Overshield popping up here very shortly. Ryanoob trying to stay alive over towards the Bulldog area. You know he desperately wants to go for that flag, but instead it's going to be a trade. Overshield in the hands of Suspector. He didn't pick it up though. He has the grapple, the wiggle coming in, the crouch coming in from Carmea. Doesn't pop that one off. Suspector really needs to hit this, and he does, canceling the animation, going for the melee. Big clutch there from E United, even though the flag was returned. Great place just to maintain a little bit of map control.
Carmea was moving so fast, I don't even think he was strafing, he was just vibrating. Suspector able to get himself a huge kill, securing the overshield, but eventually Suspector ends up going down. Aperture finds himself a kill, gonna do his best to stay alive, almost able to get the skill jump over towards the top bridge, but it's still good enough to keep him alive to avoid most of those grenades that are coming in. Oinksters having an opportunity to push off a spawn, but E United are already trying to trap them forward.
Does get hit with that grenade. And you can see how important the garage door and big door control is. And you saw the player on over towards his left. He saw the player on top of the stairs as well. If he can hit the skill jump, that's going to be big. Even the melee would buy some time. The crouch from Snipedown shuts down Aperture. That's a big kill.
Switching gears over towards Snipedown, they have to be able to capitalize off of the big kills that are coming in. Oinksters find themselves 3 down once again. This is the opportunity Unite have created. Snipedown right up to the BR side, making sure that this base is cleared out. Ryanoob, a couple of grenades coming in. They want to make sure that Oinksters have no chance of touching this flag, because Oinksters are starting to push up right off of spawn. Just 26 seconds of regulation. Oinksters having an opportunity to pull this flag, but E United, they're on full defense.
Yeah, E United doing the right play there. I mean, based on the time, and I think that's a great point, Tony, they weren't really interested in letting someone kind of slip up and grab that going into overtime. But right now, 2 players are going to be down, 3 down now for Oinksters. Nobody in position to go and touch that flag. This one is going to go to OT.
And ladies and gentlemen, we know what's on the line right now. Oinksters, again, 1 capture away from stealing this series. Ryanoob 1 body disrespect away from making them angry. E United trying to send us into that game number 5. They do not want to go down here. They're the favorites going into this matchup. It's time for them to prove it.
We'll see who's going to be able to get control off the rip. Last time, it was Oinksters with a little bit of momentum. Carmea going to pick up the rockets. Great rocket right there into the grapple on over towards the overshield. Big plays as 2 are going to be down for E United. And no hesitation, Tony, he's sending it.
He got the moves like Jagger. He got the moves like Jagger. Carmea making waves with the grapple, stealing away the overshield, still alive onto the palm tree side. And all of this time that he's wasting not going down is buying time for the rest of Oinksters to start to push up here. Carmea right into the base of E United, but the Slay's starting to go in. They're not able to do much with that time, much with that life. And E United already sent 1 to overextend the course.
What a play.
It's going to be Ryanoob.
What a play from Aperture, though, to buy time. He's still staying alive, taking players to no shields. Suspector's going to shut that one down. Mine's coming right back. Big play from Rain to stay alive. The nade Doesn't connect. It ends up going down over towards the Bulldog. Mines is doing whatever he can on the stairs area to drop Snipe down and try to eventually make his way on over towards Rain. Rain doing the smart play, not going for the flag touch right there. Tries to maintain map control over towards the Rocket side. Really can't ask for much in the way that he played his life right there. But unfortunate situation for Karmea. Looked like he was infiltrating inside the base. Rain came back and clutched it twice now.
3 down, go Oinksters and United. They know how to play the chess game. They know once they get that multiple down, they have to inch forward. Do they overextend? No, they take their time. They make sure they earn every single kill, earn every single inch. And if you give E United inch, they will simply take a mile. One more round of slays, and you'll see E United pull another flag. And this next one that gets pulled might not get stopped. Oinksters, you need to make your stance here, and that's exactly what they're doing.
So a small mistake right there, Tony. You want to pressure the flag, but you want to also fall back for this overshield. You can't anticipate only 2 players on the team to lock down that entire map if they end up playing it the way that the Oinksters did. Now Aperture picks up this overshield, and that's the play that you're looking for the Oinksters. Green Gun not going to connect. Trades coming in from on Piggy and onto Snipe down. But it's really risky to go for the flag while the overshield's coming up because you are leaving yourself open for a capture. And we know this is overtime. Only 1 capture is all you need.
Normally, Team United, the ones that are able to capitalize on the mistakes that their opposition makes. But now we have Oinksters with valuable opportunity here to be able to flip the script. Suspect off a screen, finds himself a kill onto Mines. Aperture gets himself the backside of 1. Never give up your back, not in MMA and not in Halo. But Oinksters get squad wiped. United once again getting to push forward here. Rockets coming up, and United well positioned for them.
Yeah, this is where Ray needs to keep his shields because as soon as the shields come back, that's when the Rockets are going to pop. Good job from him avoiding the player on over towards the big doors. A little bit of an overextension there from Piggy, but now the pressure is coming in from United. They have a great position now as the double kill is going to land. Rhino gets taken out as he's going for the flag, but this is what we've seen from the Oinksters do very well. The Rocket connects there onto Piggy as he thrusts back on over towards it, and the grapple from Rain completely on point. The defense from Oinksters is insane right now. We'll see what happens with the spawns. This is the hardest part. Everyone's going to spawn out and they need to pick up kills on the United side.
I'm trying to figure out how Rain missed the rocket and Piggy thrusted back towards him. He wanted to make sure that Rain didn't look silly. And now, you know what? I respect that. Great job from Piggy. Respect your elders. Suspector having to win this gunfight, but I thought it was a 1v1. If that's a 1v2, still finds the melee onto Piggy. There's one more he has to deal with. This return has to come in, otherwise it's gonna be it. And of course, Suspector taking down all 3 members by himself, down to 1 shot. He goes. Suspector now comes in with the melee to take down yet another one. The nades are starting to fly here, but E United already had the flag towards the base. 2 down they go. Ryan passing that flag forward just like that. We are tied up here in this series. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game 5.
Great flag run right there. Rain started to turn up a lot over towards the tail end of the first game before it went on over to overtime, and then when it actually went on over to overtime. The grapple plays were really kind of the big difference there. I mean, so many different layers of strategy that you could talk about, but when you look at Snipe down grappling, that flag that went in the first part of the game, and then Rain staying alive and hitting some great rockets there onto Piggy, especially when he thrusts back into that one. What a game. What a series we have here.
What a clutch by E United. And I got to give a shout out to Suspector, man, because, you know, everything you said was correct. That thrust back into the rocket, that controlling the rockets towards that end game ultimately led towards that capture. But if Suspector doesn't go absolutely nutty on those final 3 kills, I don't know if they get that capture. If Suspector doesn't get those kills, that flag doesn't make it toward the 50%. That flag definitely doesn't make it towards their shotgun tunnels, and maybe we go on for even longer. But E United, they clutch up when it matters most. Now we're going into Slayer. Now we're going into Recharge. I'm sorry, Oinksters, you had every opportunity to end this series, but Slayer Recharge, this is a specialty of E United.
I would say, you know, E United's got the momentum now. They're going to be feeling really good, but Oinksters still is right there, right? And the beginning of this game is going to be very important. We're going to see it slow down a lot more than Catalyst. That's a great point that you brought up about Suspector, though, Tony. His clutch kills, those 3 kills over towards the Mauler side, or the Mangler side, excuse me, were really clutch, especially the fact that he jumped in and didn't get meleeed up top, drops back down, picks up the flag before it's returned. works with Snipe Down, who was running the flag like the grandma, by the way. I don't know if he got the hint that it's like if you toss the flag, it goes a little bit faster. This dude is carrying the flag like this the entire time.
You know what? I'm not even mad at it because I've run flag underneath that shotgun tunnel, and so many times I'll throw it up and it'll hit the roof oddly and end up behind me. So, you know, I'm not even mad. Maybe sprinting and holding the flag right there was the play, but once you get out, you got to be easy on him, you know? He's still trying to figure out what year he is because he's playing like, oh, a Snipe Down. And my man going on. He don't even realize you can sprint and throw the flag. He took a time machine. He's back to 08.
Just messing with them, but yeah, that was a great game, and I thought that it was very well played from both these teams. When you look at what the Oinksters could have done better, there was that one time Carmea entered to their base, it had the overshield and the rockets and the grapple. If he could have got a little bit more support, but also if he would have played a little bit more aggressive, the player that spawned over towards Mangler and over towards Elbow, that gave him too much trouble for how much overshield he had left. He still had a sliver of overshield and still had a grenade. That grenade off the ground right there is really easy, and if he would have just tossed that grenade right there, we're nitpicking at this point, but when you're looking at that close of a series, that close of a game, all of these small moments matter.
We know that Oinkster's default pacing is aggression and EU United's default pacing is defensive, but what we're noticing right now, what's winning this series is being able to change the pace, being able to be comfortable, being uncomfortable, speeding up when it matters most, slowing down when you need to. The team that does it best is a team that's going to come out in this game number 5, and EU United already taking control early. Oinksters thought they had a free camouflage, but the Slays go in. EU United able to steal it away. Be careful, Oinksters. EU United, they might just steal the series.
Oh, big bait and switch there coming through. The shots are going to connect for Piggy. Snipe Down goes down. Watch out for Snipe Down in game 5s. That's really what he specializes in, is a bunch of kills going on over towards the Oinksters. Looking for another player over towards the seaside, and oh my goodness, the collapse. That was a really nice play by EU United. Rain going to come back with the double kill off of the rip, and this dude's starting to heat up. He's already got 6 kills.
Snipe Down about to quickly turn to shock down. 3 members of Oinksters going to start to push up. I think the kids say, they say mess around and find out. Because you about to find out why this man was one of the best in the business. Line up the shock rifle, just barely missing the shot onto the bat ledge. Having a second chance holding on to that gold side, but Oinksters still having 4 up. EU United, they got to get value out of the shock rifle. Snipe Down, you need to go off.
And it's facts. However much you mess around is how much you're going to find out. And if you don't mess around, you're not going to find out. As you can see, the 2-kill lead now building up for EU United. Make that a 3-kill lead. And this is where things could get a little bit out of control. This is where you got to slow things down, play around this camouflage. But Snipe Down's in perfect position. He has the grapple, even zooms in to make sure that he gets that camouflage. And this is a deadly combo.
He was already dangerous enough with that sniper rifle in hands, but now he combined it with the camouflage. Ryan Noob off the screen, gets the stick onto Aperture, and that's the initial pick they were looking for. EU United, they want to get aggressive off it, barely missing with the shock rifle. The BR able to put the player down to 1 shot, but now Oinkster started to spawn onto the long haul side. It looks like that might have been their plan for EU United because the collapse is coming in. 360 no scope to the dome of Piggy. The reason why FaZe is in his name because he trick shots and puts you down. A 5-kill lead by EU United. They're not done yet.
In terms of what you need for a recipe for success, you're looking at it right now for EU United. Rain is popping off. And Tony, we talked about it going into Bazaar CTF, how much this guy started to turn up his gameplay. A lot of clutch kills coming in for him. Speaking of clutch mines with the double kill, that's what you need. Take that weapon out of Snipe Down's hands, get the reset coming through, and find out if you could even get more trades, but they avoid the trade right there, and a big turnaround, about 4 or 5 unanswered kills for the Oinksters.
Back-to-back camouflages and shock rifle in the hands of EU United, and somehow you emerge with only a 2-kill lead. Oinksters now having the opportunity to use these resources, hopefully steal the lead back, because we didn't see much value out of EU United. Oinksters, it's your opportunity to shine.
See what they can do with these runs. We were talking about it before, Tony, with the basketball type of scenario. If you can make your runs as equal or better than EU United, when you get the weapons and you get control, you're going to be in a great spot. We saw in Catalyst United make some great runs, then Oinksters never giving up and making the comeback. But one man needs to be shut down. That's Rain. He has almost half of his team's kills right now.
Here's another basketball reference for you. Just cross him up. Give them the movement, give them the wiggles, do what you gotta do to come out on top. You need to dunk on these dudes. Game number 5, it's go big or go home, an active camouflage coming up. And even though E United were in position for it, ends up getting grappled away. So now I'm trying to find out who had the grapple. Was it a member of Oinkster? Was it a member of E United? They could have grappled up over toward the tower side, or Oinksters might have been able to steal it away. I'm honestly not sure, but of course it's grapple. It's Ryan making the big brain plays. A 3-kill lead in favor of E United as the 3rd camouflage goes in the hands of EU. You've done a great job of weathering the storm and keeping things close despite not having the resources, but eventually it's gonna bite you in the butt. And E United, they love them some pork.
One can say for the Oinksters, you need to get Piggly Wiggly up in here as Carmea with the shock rifle lands a couple of melees and a kill. The assist there on a Suspector. Aperture's going to clean that one up. Ryan answers it right back. But this is that moment that you can't get trades. Oinksters needs to play this methodical. They need to slow down. A little bit of a team nade right there, and Snipe Down starting to heat up. And once Rain starts to cool down, Snipe Down continues to add the pressure, and the staggered spawns are happening. Everybody trapped inside of the hallway. Big shot right there as Aperture is going to help there with the battle rifle, but things are getting a little bit out of control right now for the Oinksters.
United in the driver's seat and looking to run over Oinksters, and they've just blew this lead wide open to 31-23. Game so far. Rain going right after Piggy off a screen. This duo, and Rhino finds himself a kill. The call-outs are in, and Rain making it hail. 34-24, double-digit lead. E United seemingly coming out of nowhere. And we say the game don't start until a team hits 30 kills, but the game might end now that E United have hit 36.
Yeah, this is that run that you fear if you're Oinksters. Things are starting to become a little bit unfathomable in terms of a comeback, and you need something major to happen. It starts with this camouflage, and that's another trade that you can't afford to have. Piggy, unfortunately, not having the best game of the series for him, and now things are really just crumbling for the Oinksters as E United has hit their full form. Camo going in the hands of Snipe Down, and this man is ready to put up some big stats. Already at 9, 7, and 5. Rain continues to have his impressive performance that he led with on Bazaar, but I love this play from Snipe Down. Instead of pushing through while he's weak, going for the grapple, going for the shock rifle, securing all of the weapons on the map.
And I love that you use the word crumble, because Oinksters have built this wall, this momentum brick by brick, and E United are tearing it down. Welcome to the big leagues. This is why E United is one of the top teams in the league. You're finding out. I told you, mess around and you gonna find out. Snipe Down with the shock rifle, a double kill, 45 kills and counting. Another body shot. Finally, Mind's able to get the kill to slow them down just a bit. But the game is over. It's too little, too late. E United just waiting for the opportunity to put them to rest.
Yeah, what's steak plus pork? We know what a surf and turf is, but I don't really know. Is this a bacon-wrapped filet, Tony?
And E United are hungry. Oinksters able to get a little bit of momentum there. Back-to-back kills going in favor of Oinksters, but sadly, again, it's too little, too late. You're still down by double digits. It's 5 more kills away from E United being able to steal this. Piggy, you're 3 and 14, looking like me out here in the recharge. Suspect off a screen finds himself a kill. 1 squad wipe away from doing it. Rain confident enough to go in for the challenge, handing Piggy his 15th death. Another kill goes onto the feed. Ryan Newman Suspector back-to-back. Just 1 more kill needed, and Rain going into the exact same spot, breaking you down. It's the fundamentals. It's the methodical play. It's E United clutching it up. The tea bags are in, and I'm sure Oinksters, they don't like that flavor.
What a great series, though. I mean, Oinksters giving it everything they had. E United starting to heat up. Everybody showing their clutch factor. I mean, Snipe Down with his clutch plays throughout that game. Rain popping off in the end of game number 4, carrying that momentum into game number 5, had himself a great game 5 overall. Ryan with his objective efficiency started off with him getting the weapons and showing that everybody's willing to put in work. That great play with that 3 kills from Suspector. And then same said for Oinksters. Every single player on that team stepped it up at every given point. Unfortunate for Piggy, he's going to look at that game 5 and say, completely my bad. It would have been fun to see if he was able to have his better game of the series in game number 5, how competitive that final game could have been, because that series was extremely entertaining. It just goes to show how competitive the HCS and Series E really is.
Once again, E United asserting himself as the #1 team in Europe, so good that they're forced to compete here in North America. knocking down Oysters in the finals. $500 were on the line. Single elimination, so it was do or die. And E United having to go to Game 5. Big ups to Oysters. Swapping out King J for Carbea to momentarily sub in. And I will say they made it here for a reason. They made it competitive for a reason. But eventually E United simply too much, and they earned that win. T squared. It was truly an honor. They say T squared is ripping, but you know what? It's T cubed that's really ripping right now, because this duo, I'm having a feeling it's not going to be the last time we do this.
Yeah, I'm excited to be involved with some more Halo with you, and we do Apex together as well, so an absolute blast getting to take a look at the up-and-coming players. I mean, we already know who these players are on Oysters, but I think they proved a lot today. And like you said, Carmea coming in for King J. Tough role to fill, big shoes to fill in terms of the way that King J plays, the vibes that he brings. So looking forward to watching that team continue to improve. But I'm excited to see a team like United again come through hungry, losing game number 1, bouncing back, staying focused, and they really prove that they're here to improve even after their top 6 performance in Orlando.
Guys, this was the end of the season, the end of a phenomenal season at that. I'm really glad to got the chance to see United come in and absolutely do their thing and really show us why they're a top 6 team in this seed going into Worlds. And by the way, Worlds right around the corner. We're talking about next month. We are going to be in Seattle, so it's going to be phenomenal. Don't worry, guys. Esports Arena is not going anywhere. We're going to continue to do tournaments like this every single week. It's going to be a lot of money on the line. It's going to be phenomenal casting, phenomenal production. Just make sure you guys get involved. Twitter.com/esports arena, and make sure you guys smash that follow button. It should be somewhere over. It's somewhere on your screen. Make sure you smash that follow button, leave the notification bell turned on so you guys can see all of the action. Catch T squared not only here on Halo but also on Apex as well. And make sure you guys come back. T squared, do you have any final words for your fans at home?
It was great casting with you, Tony. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone at ESA working behind the scenes, so all the players involved, all of our partners as well. And get ready. More Series E's around the corner.
Guys, that's going to do it for us. I believe we're sending it to Yeso, for a final segment to break it down. But again, $500 richer is E United. This is T squared and Why Not Be Casting signing out. Peace out.
Hats off to those two gentlemen. Pros. And I always love getting to hear them talk shop, whether it is Apex, Halo, esports in general. Two incredibly knowledgeable and passionate individuals there. Appreciate you both, Tom and Why Not. And that is the end of our season, ladies and gents. 2 seasons of Series E Halo Infinite in the books, and E United and Oysters delivering an absolute banger of a best of 5 to close out the season. What a night, what a season. Thank you so much to everybody who has come out, watched, supported, been in the chat, hyping things up on Twitter, come and competed. We appreciate all of the continued passion from all of you. It's why we do it here at Esports Arena, and we're so thankful to all of you. And that's going to wrap up the final week here of Series E for this season. 5 seasons of Apex Legends done, 2 of Guilty Gear Strive and Halo Infinite, and so much more to come, folks. Another reminder that, of course, plenty of announcements to come around Series E and what is going to be new for these upcoming seasons, so keep an eye out for that. We've got a ton coming out over the next couple of weeks, so make sure you're checking out esportsarena.com, our Twitter feed at esportsarena, and more. Keep an eye out for all of that because we've got so much coming for all of you. We are very excited to show you what is on the horizon. That is going to do it for us tonight, folks. For the final time this season, my name is Yeso. Always a pleasure to host for you all at home. For myself, the entire live broadcast crew, and everybody here at Esports Arena, thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and we will see you again next time.